They are barring people from a basic democratic right.
Jamie Lee Ross.
That the question be now put.
I'm going to invite Dr. Megan Woods.
Thank you, Mr Chairman. I'm very happy to take a call on the Environment Canterbury Temporary Commissioners and Improved Water Management Amendment Bill and speak to Part 1 of this bill. In particular, I want to speak to the extension of the date that this bill is putting into place. And I want to dwell on some of the comments and the arguments we've heard from members opposite tonight, because they actually disturb me. They probably disturb me as much as the Law Society was disturbed at the breach of law that this piece of legislation was bringing to the people of Canterbury. I hurried back here tonight to speak on this bill after being at a rally for Christchurch schools, where I can report to members opposite, the Minister and members from Christchurch, that there is far from satisfaction, and this is all embedded. I want to take people back to the 19th of September last year, 2012, where the people of Christchurch gathered to show their dissatisfaction with the extension of the rolling over of the ECAN elections from 2013 to 2016. And what did they do? They gathered at the Bridge of Remembrance and they had a very clear message. They didn't want their vote taken. They didn't want their schools taken. In fact, they were asking for democracy all round. And this was a very special day that they gathered on this day to ask for this. This, of course, being Women's Suffrage Day, a day when Christchurch can rightly be proud of its heritage in being a crucible of democracy in this country. And what did we have going on from government? The people who, ironically, are elected to represent us, they had the taking away of our votes. And for the people of Christchurch, this is galling. It is galling that their votes have been taken. It is galling that their schools are being closed. It is galling they are not being listened to. And it is galling that they are being run roughshod over by this government. So when people gather in Christchurch at these rallies for democracy that seem to happen at a regular place, there's chants that go up and they're reported in the press, people saying, what do we want? Democracy. When do we want it now? This is happening. You know, they don't say 2016, they say they want it now. Labour is proud that we have given an undertaking that when we're elected in 2014 to be the government, we will reinstate elections. And it shocks me as a Member of Parliament that I have to stand here and talk about reinstating elections in this country. It just beggars belief. Now, what have we heard from Jackie Dean? Jackie Dean talked about people coming to the Select Committee, jacked up by various political parties to come and wail at the Select Committee. The arrogance shown by this member pretty much sums up why it is that tempers have boiled over at Select Committee. This is the way the people of Canterbury, who came to tell the Select Committee that they did object to their votes being taken away, they did object to their democratic rights being taken away, they now are described in this House, the House of Representatives as New Zealanders, is coming to have a wail to the Select Committee. This is up there with Jerry Brownlee describing the people of Christchurch as carpers and moaners and telling them that they're just buggerising around on Facebook. This is unacceptable, shows no respect for the people of Canterbury. It shows no respect for the people of Christchurch, and this is a government that shows absolutely no respect for the people of Christchurch. At one of these rallies for democracy, I had the pleasure of meeting two of my constituents who were objecting to the extension of this date from 2013 to 2016. And this was a very special couple of constituents I did meet. In fact, it was a couple in their mid-80s. This was they live in Riccarton, and this was the first time in their entire life they'd ever been on a protest. It was the first time in their life that they'd actually sought to actually make their views clear to a government that they didn't like what was going on. but they were so affronted that their right to vote was being taken away from them by a government that was elected in this country. So the fact that people in their mid-80s are having to take to the street to talk about their want, Mr. Chairman.
David Clinton.
Mr. Chair, I'm pleased to take a call on this bill. A lot of the speeches we've heard tonight have come from MPs